Hi everyone, it's Diana. I want to speak about how to tap into somebody's grace and receive access to what you need. You may know certain people that have access to what you want, to what you need, but you do not have it and you don't know how to tap into that grace. When a person has a certain revelation about something that you need, it means that they have the grace to know about it. They have been graced by God to be in a certain sphere or dimension. People are portals into spheres and dimensions. And based on your level of honoring, you access what they have. So ask yourself, what dimension or sphere is this person giving me access to? Do you know exactly what they have? What has God graced them with? Because if you do not know what they carry, how are you going to receive it? You need to know, what is it that they have? What is it that the vessel that you see is containing? What power of God? What revelation? What insight? What are they transferring into me? Or what am I transferring into them? Because it's always an exchange, a flow of giving and receiving that keeps the balance. It doesn't have to be with the same person, but the flow must continue. Never block what you are receiving, because the moment you stop the flow, the supply begins to dry up. When you honor the flow, revelation multiplies. So what is a sphere and what is a dimension? Within a dimension, we have different or multiple spheres. So you could say that a dimension is a vertical and a sphere is horizontal. It means that somebody in a different dimension is either above you or below you. If somebody is in a sphere, they can be in the same dimension, but just in another place. They have a different revelation, but in the same dimension. Moving into a higher dimension means you are stepping into a greater reality of truth, authority, and awareness. Dimensions determine what's possible. They define the laws and limits that govern something. For example, you live in 3 dimensions, not in 3 spheres. You have a spirit, a soul, and a body. They all live in different dimensions. Living from the heavenly dimension means you're operating from God's perspective, not Earth's logic. So it means that you have the mind of Christ. It means that you have a different awareness. And when you have this awareness, you are being elevated in the sphere that you are in. For example, if you are on earth, but you come from a higher dimension, you will rule over what is below. What comes from above rules over what is below. A sphere is a field or area of operation within a dimension. It's your assignment zone, your influence, your reach, your area of dominion. Think of spheres like circles of function and impact. There are spheres of government, business, faith, creativity, education, relationships, all influenced by whoever occupies them. Spheres are where your dimension of understanding gets expressed. So if a dimension is your level, a sphere is your territory within that level. We need to know what a dimension is and what a sphere is if you want to access one. Because how are you going to access something that is not clear to you, something that you do not know about? If we think about the heavens that the Bible is mentioning, these are dimensions. They are not spheres, they are dimensions. When you recognize who carries access, you move higher in dimension and wider in sphere, vertically into new depths of understanding and horizontally into new territories of influence. What does it mean to be given access to a sphere or to a dimension? It's all about the transfer of knowledge and the activation of understanding. You receive access by a revelation, by an impartation. They are imparting something into you. And it's not about raw information, but this information has a spiritual component to it. You don't enter by mere intellect. You enter by revelation. Someone who already walks in that realm becomes a door for you. So when you hear God saying a door of opportunity, what or who is the door of opportunity? Usually, these doors are people. Through connection, conversation, or even a single word, something invisible is imparted. It's not information you could ever learn in school. It's spirit-breathed awareness that awakens inside you because a transfer has occurred. It's a spirit-breathed awareness. It's about awareness. It's about consciousness. When you enter a new dimension, you will realize that you think differently, you see differently, you understand differently. It's all about how you perceive things. It's about whether something is real to you or not. Very often, people cannot tap into miracles because they are not real to them. You may read the Bible and you may hear about God splitting the sea, or Moses splitting the sea. You may hear about Jesus healing people, about the transfiguration on the mountain, about turning water into wine, and so on. But you can't tap into them because you do not have the awareness or the consciousness. They are not real to you. You know about them as a story, but not as reality. When you have the mind of Christ, they become real to you. And you tap into them because you always receive what you are, not what you desire, not what you pray for, but what you are. If you know that healing belongs to you by covenant, then you will receive it, not because you pray, but because of a revelation. Many things that people pray for, such as healing, or breaking addictions, or financial breakthroughs, they are not a matter of prayer, but a matter of awareness, a matter of the consciousness of Christ. Healing requires you to enter a certain sphere, a certain dimension. It's not about prayer. It's about tapping into somebody's grace. It's about entering into a covenantal awareness.